Yeah, I can. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So, I mean, as I was explaining, I mean, in demo session. Okay. So that's like 1 second. So, I mean, OLAP systems, I mean, online electrical processing systems, right, which is also known as data warehouse system, right? So, it generally, basically, the database we generally use to store the historical data, right? So that the higher management people can analyze the data, okay? And this data warehouse system generally uses for reports and data analysis purpose. Okay, it stores historical information. So like, I mean, 20, 30 years of the historical information, and it supports, see, generally, I mean, we will be having pre-queries, I mean, pre-planned queries, right? Like what quarterly revenue, like yearly revenues, or the products which make higher revenue from past 30 years. So these are all the pre-planned queries, and this data warehouse especially supports ad hoc querying as well. So ad hoc querying in the sense, so I mean, any query, if a higher manager wants to retrieve the data, so they can retrieve the data on ad hoc basis as well. So it's, I mean, because the model which they follow is a dimensional modeling, right? So, and also, generally, I mean, the higher management like executives, managers, and analysts, this particular data warehouse helps them to make faster and better decisions. Faster means, see, I mean, the only difference is OLTP generally, I mean, this OLTP contains the live data, okay? So, which will be having, I mean, as I told you, the model which we follow is relational model. That means we'll be having all the tables, normalized tables in your production database, right? So in OLTP system. So we'll be designing the database in such a way, the all the database tables are normalized tables. But whereas in data warehouse system, so the model which we follow is not a relational model, we follow dimensional modeling. Okay, so in dimensional modeling, there is no concept called normalization of the tables. Okay, so it's dimensional modeling. The design itself are different. So I'm going to explain even the key concepts of that dimensional modeling in further slides. So generally, I mean, where do we get the information from in OLAP systems? Means data warehouse systems. So one thing, as I told you, generally we take the data from online transaction processing system and load it into data warehouse system based on the need. So I mean, it's like, I mean, see, generally what happens. So if any organization wants to build a data warehouse system, so depends on their business. Okay, the frequency. Oh, I think Malika, are you there? Hello, hello, Malika, are you there? I think Malika dropped. Malika, I mean, are you on mute? Hello, Malika, are you able to hear me? Yeah, Malika. So I think you lost in between. Hi Malika, are you able to hear me now? Hello. Yeah, Malika, are you able to hear me? Hello. Srini, I think there is an issue with Malika.
Hello?
Yeah, Malika. So I think you
Yeah,
lost in
can you
between.
hear me? I'm so sorry. Like I'm actually I don't know. Something went wrong with my Google Chrome. It's
Oh,
crashing.
oh,
You can continue. I connected from my phone. You can I can see that clearly. I can see
okay.
the screen. No problem.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Tell
So
me. Yeah.
I'm explaining right this one. So from where we get the data into OLAP systems. So as I explained you, I mean the model which we follow is relational model, right? I mean for OLTP database. So relational model in the sense we will be having all the normalized tables, okay? So in your OLTP database, but whereas in OLAP, so as we are following dimensional modeling, it's not necessary that we have all the normalized tables in your OLAP systems. It's not. Okay. So there are different key concepts which we follow to design the dimensional modeling. Okay. So probably in between, probably you can say okay, so that I can
Yeah,
confirm.
yeah, it's totally fine. Yep. No
Yeah.
problem. Yep.
And then so if you see so from where we will be getting the data, so we will be getting the data from, as we know, the data from OLTP, but there are three different types of approaches which we follow to load the data. Okay, so probably one approach is like, I mean, you will be receiving the, you will be extracting the data from online transaction processing system, which is a production system, and then directly loading the data to your OLAP system, data warehouse system. That is one concept, extraction, transformation, loading. And there is another approach, okay, and you will be retrieving the data from your OLTP system, and before loading into your data warehouse system, you will be loading the data to the staging system. So here we are introducing one more stage called staging system. So once you load the data into your staging system, so what we are going to do here, we will be performing verification, cleaning, and then analyze the data and transform the data into more historical format and load it into your data warehouse system. Okay, So here we introduced one additional stage where we are loading the data before data warehouse system. We are loading the data into one staging system, and then we are performing verification, cleaning, and analysis. So what is this verification and cleaning? I'm going to tell you in the next classes. Okay. So many will be verifying different types of. We will be validating data in different. We have different approaches. Okay, and then clean the data. So and then load it into your data warehouse system. Okay. So here we'll be converting.
Is it? So I'm sorry to interrupt you. Like, is it like you're improving the data quality? Is that what you're trying to say?
Exactly. We are improving the data quality, and then the data means we will be converting the data into a standard format as well. So because we are loading the data to the data warehouse, to what is the actual purpose? To store the historical data. We should be load the data into more historical format so that we can analyze the data very easily. Okay, because here the purpose of production system is to actually what I can say, the database tables are in such a format to easily add any new record, right? Because it's a live system. Because whenever an end user or internal users for let's say bank, so whenever internal users or end user performs a transaction, so there is a chance to add a new record, right? Or otherwise there is a chance of modifying your existing record, or there is a chance of deleting the existing records. So all these add, delete, and then modify operations should be able to perform very easily, right? So that's the purpose. But whereas in data warehouse, we are not performing any additions, deletions, and modifications on regular basis. We are just retrieving the data, right? So that means the system should be designed in such a way, the queries whatever we perform, queries means only select queries. So whenever you retrieve the required data, that should come very easily. So that's why, so while loading the data into your data warehouse system, in staging, we are converting the data into more historical format. Okay, so verification in the sense, we are making sure the most of the data is converted to your historical format. Ready to convert to the historical format, not converting, ready to convert, and we are cleaning the data in such a manner all the data is in standard format. So the examples I'm going to tell you also in the further classes, and then we will be transforming the data and loading into your database system, right? So that is 3-stage approach, and there is another approach, 4-stage approach. Okay, so as I told you, so whenever you extract the data from your OLTP system, production system, so OLTP, any organization operates on OLTP system, production system, right? So the production system might not be single technology. So most of the 60 to 70% of the systems use multiple technological systems. As I told you, the data, some data will be storing in SQL, some of the data will be storing in your Oracle. And if internal employee expenses, probably they might not be using database to track the internal employee expenses. So they might be using flat files like CSV files, for example, right? CSV or Excel files. Okay, and then also some part of the data might be in the form of web services like XMLs, right? So these are all the multiple technology systems. This I told you in demo session, right? So now, so there is another approach where we'll be using 4-stage approach. What happens here? We'll be extracting the data from your production OLTP system and then loading into pre-staging system before you load it to staging system. So why? See, so if you have data in different multiple technology systems, what we'll do? I am extracting the data from the technology system 1 system to different types, like from Oracle, probably the data in the form of flat files, the data in the form of website, XMLs. So I'm going to extract these different multiple technological systems and load it into one single pre-staging system. Okay, I'm collecting the data from multiple technology systems and loading into one pre-staging system, and then again from this single system you will be extracting and loading into your staging system. So here, as we perform, as I told you in the earlier approach, so here we are going to perform verifying, cleaning, and then transform, and then analyze the data and transform the data and load it into your data warehouse system. Okay, so you see, it depends which approach are you going to take. So that depends on the business actually you are working on. So let's say you are depending upon the business which we are, for which we are creating the data warehouse system. So let's say, so retail industry wants to build a data warehouse system. If you are building a data warehouse system for any retail industry, probably you might be following only three-stage approach. If you are building a data warehouse system for any banking applications or Facebook, if you are building a data warehouse system for companies like Facebook, it will be handling a lot of data, right? It handles the data, huge data. So that time probably you want to go to 4-stage. It's again depends on business. It's again depends on the budget which will be allocated to build the data warehouse system, right? So it depends on that which approach you will be taking. Okay. So any questions, Malika, till here?
No question. So so whatever files are from the system files, like what you said, that flat files or XML files and all that, they are actually from the source systems. These are what you're saying. Okay. So basically they get converted in the staging process and all. So like cleaning and verification. And yeah, I understood. So basically they are converted into the historical data before loading into the data warehouse.
Exactly. So here what we are doing, of course, even in the first approach, whatever I told,
okay,
here also I'm converting. But I'm actually, by introducing these different stages, you can make sure that you have a quality output. Simple.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yep.
So if you do more budget, probably you'll be introducing, more budget, and it's a very critical data. Probably you want to introduce one more system. So that way.
Okay, I got it. Yep. Yes. Cool.
And then, so does all the systems require your database? Really, do we need to build a data warehouse system? So it's no. It's not mandatory to. Give me 1 minute, Malika.
Sure. Take your time.
To build the data warehouse system. Okay, so generally what happens, the bigger organizations and which are, the organizations which are growing very rapidly, and the data is, the data which is storing per day, the transactions are very high, and the data is handling the data with enormous data. So that kind of organization generally wants to go for data warehouse system. See, if what I want to tell is, the organizations, medium level organizations or low scale organizations, okay, small scale organizations, they generally doesn't want to go for a data warehouse system, because to build a data warehouse system, it's a cost effective. It's a very costly, first of all. Okay, so but if any organization wants to build data warehouse system, they have to spend more money. So once you spend the more money and build the data warehouse system, the organization should be in a state to utilize that particular data warehouse system. Okay, so mostly the bigger organizations which is growing very rapidly, So those kind of companies or organizations prefer to build a data warehouse system. Okay, let's say you are having a medium scale industry, okay, but still you want to build a data warehouse system. Okay, you spend a lot of money and build a data warehouse system. So once you build the data warehouse system, see why we are using data warehouse system, especially to
To
analyze
handle
your,
lot of data.
yeah, handling the lot of data and then analyze the historical data, and you are gonna higher management gonna have a critical decisions to take the critical decisions so that they can generate more revenue in future. So it's simple. So they want to generate more revenue. They want to analyze the data so that they can take critical decisions faster manner. So that by taking those critical decisions, they can generate more revenue in future. Right. So let's say medium scale industry